Well, hello, DRBCs, you babies out there, your DRBBs, your boobies, your BBs, your babies. Not quite sure what that intro is. I think I'm getting bored of ladies and gents, or gentle folk. So, what are you, the beasties, the DRBCs? Well, we don't know. Who cares? We're not talking about names. Well, we're going to talk about one name, the name of Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 5, The Bells. Ring the bells, Esmeralda. Ooh, the bells, the bells. Ooh, little Quasimodo, motherfucker. Yeah, well, guess what? I didn't actually hate it very much. I know, controversial. It wasn't as bad as the previous one. There was still some absolute shit that shoveled down the audience's mouth and throat and into their bellies, and then they shut out more of the shit. That was this episode. But I've got to say, credit where it's due, it wasn't quite as bad. And I did a little bit of thinking since the last one, and I'm going to tell you what I liked and what I didn't. But in the last episode, I was really disappointed, as you may have guessed, and I kind of came to the realization that this is maybe as good as it's going to get. And although we can be really annoyed, we can be disgruntled, we can say lots of bad things about Game of Thrones, it's just not going to change. We have it, it's done, it's dusted, and although we probably end up being although, oh God, I can't speak, although we probably will be disappointed, almost certainly we have been disappointed so far, there's nothing we can do about it. So we can either be disgruntled and continue to bitch and moan and be part of this outrage culture. I have been one of those willing members. Or we can just enjoy it for what it is, or try to enjoy it. And that's what I tried to do with this episode. And there are large chunks that I loved. There were also some slabs that I did not enjoy. And there were some bits that are just fucking stupid. We're going to go through those right now. Okay, so what bits did I like? In no particular order, because I got muddled up last time, and this is unscripted, and it's just a rambling rant of ramifications. That doesn't quite work. It doesn't matter. So one of the first bits, and the bits that I absolutely adored, was the very opening scene, actually, with Varys and his little bird, his new little whisper, the little girl who comes in, and it's harkening back to the very start of Season 1, and Varys playing the Game of Thrones behind the scenes. Now, we all knew he was going to do this. He was going to tell Jon he's going to commit treason, but it was just a nice touch. It was going back to the roots, him in a darkened room, writing letters, and you can see him scribing them, or probably sending them off with his crows off to every corner of Westeros to try and get everybody to turn against Dany, because he truly believes that she's an absolute fucking nutter. Oh, someone was right. And of course then he knows his fate's coming, because he hears the people coming to the door. He sends the little bird off. He's training her up to be probably the next Varys. Hopefully she doesn't have all her sexual organs cut off. That'd be weird. But I enjoyed that, and even his betrayal, because he was betrayed by none other than Tyrion. Little fucker. I'm not quite sure why he betrayed him. Tyrion has always been a smart character. He's always been one of the clever guys, let's say. And in this episode, and the previous episodes, and actually the last season or two, he's just become an idiot, really. He's made poor decision after poor decision after poor decision, and this just suits the storyline that they're trying to force. This is their end game, and they need someone to make these decisions, and Tyrion, unfortunately, has befallen this role, and he's had to take the fall, quite literally, because his character arc is absolutely skewed from basically the most intelligent and probably most manipulative person in the whole of the season, the series, the show, the books, the story, the world. He is now a bit of a buffoon. So he goes against Varys, which fucked me off right royally, because they've basically been best friends for pretty much all. Varys has saved his life twice. And they've gone through so much, and they were the schemers. They were the ones that were manipulating things from behind the scenes and trying to do the best thing. And he's picked Daenerys over Varys. I don't know what he thought would happen, but he did. Varys gets burnt alive. That was quite sad. But it was a touching moment between the two. where he said, "Good luck, old friend, I hope I'm not wrong." And Tyrion just clasps his arm and then, of course, gets roasted royally. Now, this bit is also fucking stupid because Tyrion, immediately after betraying his friend and choosing Dany and saying, "You can't commit treason, you're going to commit treason, you're going to commit treason, this is treason," goes and fucking commits treason literally 3 minutes later when Dany tells him in the throne room in no uncertain terms that they've captured his brother. That doesn't make sense. Why would she tell him? Probably to piss him off. But I thought it was going to be a trap. It wasn't a trap because he went twiddling along, told the guards to leave because he outranked them. I thought it was going to be a trap because she's baiting him. She said, "Last time you fail me will be the last time you fail me. In no uncertain terms, don't fucking fail me." What does he do? He immediately commits treason. But he was just telling... He got Varys flambéed. If he had besticles, if his testicles were besticles, they would have been flambéed too. And then literally 3 minutes later, he fucks off to go and commit treason. You dumb fuck. You just, why? It just doesn't make sense. And my wife, who doesn't really care for the storylines and stuff, she just enjoys the spectacle. She's not as invested as me. She was like, "Why is he doing that?" Oh, it's a trap. It wasn't a trap, no. But it leads me on to my second and probably favourite part of the season 8, maybe even. Tyrion and Jaime's moment. Oh, it was so nice. It was so nice. And these actors do it so well. And they've had so much history and all of their early scenes together before the show started going a bit... were just brought to the forefront and the real emotion there. And when Tyrion says, "I wouldn't have survived, I would never have survived if it hadn't been for you. I was a monster and they would have killed me." And Jaime was like, "No, you would have survived, or you would have." And it was just really touching. And that was so well done. And it was nice. It hit me right in the feels. Like an absolute wallop right in the cheeky part of the face. Hit me in the feels and got me going... No. But it was good. It was really nice. And there were a couple of little bits like that throughout the episode. Another thing that was absolutely fantastic, because I'm going with the mainly positives first of all, was of course the battle scenes and the coolest bit of dragon destruction the world has probably ever seen. I will talk about that a little bit in a minute because, of course, I'm just jumping all over the shop here. A couple of other bits before we get to that. And I guess that's probably... God, I'm really rambling here. It's probably really good because it was directed by the same guy that did the Long Night, massive battle with the end of the Night King, which was awesome. It looked visually stunning, and as a bit of cinema, I guess you could say, as a bit of TV drama, it was pretty epic. It's just a shame that all the storylines kind of started to crumble. Anywho, it was visually spectacular, it was fun to watch, and it hit most of the buttons for this episode. It was pretty good. However, of course, you've got the main turning point, which we all could see coming, Dany turning into... fucking hell, an absolute psychopath. Now, we knew that she was going to go a bit weird. Everybody kind of saw that coming. It was quite clear. It wasn't hidden in shadow. I think they wanted us to know that she was going. And Jon, of course, was pretty much the reason she did. Because he's Honest Abe, he's gone to be Ned's son, he has to be really nice, and he tells Sansa, of course, in the last episode, then Sansa tells Tyrion, Tyrion tells Varys then comes back to Jon, and it's like this little circle of fun, and then he knows, rather Dany knows that he has betrayed her. The one person she loves, the one person that's right by her side, has betrayed her. She's lost her advisors, she's lost loads of her army, and now this man that she adores and loves and has basically lost all of that stuff for, now doesn't want her anymore in that way and has betrayed her. And there was the scene where she comes to kiss him and he kisses her but then pulls away and he's like, "You will always be my queen." And she said, "Is that all I'm going to be?" And he's like, "You will always be my queen." And she basically says, "Look, the people love you. There are people all over here that love you. No one loves me. I guess I'll have to choose fear. And she's been betrayed. She was betrayed by Varys, one of her top advisors. She was basically betrayed by Jon, which she said to Tyrion earlier on. And she's lost. That's it. She's gone. So she only knows to rule with fear. And she was only ever going to try and rule the Iron Throne. And if she's going to rule it, and she can only rule it with fear, we know what she's going to do. Anyway, Tyrion decides to tell her that they're going to surrender the city and she doesn't have to kill all of the innocents and stuff. And she kind of like nods and says, okay, if the bells, Esmeralda, if the bells are rung, she will stop. So you had all your Quasimodos up in the bells tower and they were waiting for her. But then, of course, Tyrion gets told about his brother. They have that moment. He sets his brother free. Now, we might thought that he was setting the brother free to go and to go and kill Cersei, but no. Unfortunately, Jaime's arc did the full 360, came back 180, turned around with 360, probably still be going in the right direction, but did the 180 and then another 180. He did loads of 180s, and basically he's facing the wrong direction from where he went from basically season 1, being an asshole, all the way to season now. And now he's just basically in one episode gone to a freaking asshole again. He's gone off with his sister. But in a way, I guess you could say it's poetic. I didn't mind too much, and the way it pans out is okay. But it's a shame, because I thought they could have done so much more with that. Anywho, he's set free, and Tyrion tells him to go off and sail off into the sunset and have a nice life. You can fly, sail past all the ships. You can get out, don't worry, boy. I don't know why I'm talking in this accent, but we said all unsullied away. They never gonna come back and question where you gone. No, sirree, Bob. You're just like one of the most important prisoners here. Daenerys has told me not to fuck around, and then no one even fucking checks on you. No one checks on you. You can just get out of here, you little silly sausage. Go get that girl, take her off into the sunset and have fun. Yeah, make some more incest babies. Now I support you, even though Cersei tried to kill me so many times, and she's a vindictive bitch, and she should die and burn. No, you go take her to the sunset and have some fun, and incest babies. Just doesn't make sense. Save your brother, but why? Oh God. Anywho, never mind. So yeah, Jaime, he goes. Daenerys wants to fight straight away. This leads me on to another point that I didn't like. I thought I was going to talk about good things I did like. Fuck it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so they the whole armies are beached up by King's Landing. They're on the beach, right? And they killed... The Iron Fleet didn't stop them. The Greyjoy fleet didn't stop them. No, they're just off in the fucking bay. They didn't even try to intercept the ships. They're down on the beach with the walls and the parapets literally behind them. None of Cersei's fleet, none of Cersei's army. No one tries to attack them. They're just sitting there. Waiting. Anywho, so what does she do? Yeah, this is into the nitty gritty shit now. Okay, cool. Right, we're really going into it now. So we got all the fleet looking around. It's very nice and quiet, and it's building, and it is cinematically, it's really cool. It's really good. The music is fantastic. The visuals look amazing, and you got all Euron Greyjoy on his boats, on his ships, and all of these scorpion stingers are pointing up to the skies, and of course Drogon comes out of a cloud scape up there. The sun is shining, so maybe it's blinding them. But these hundreds of ships and hundreds of scorpions on the wall don't react at all. Let Drogon get really goddamn fucking close. Torch a couple of boats instantly. And Euron is reloading like so slow. In the previous episode, the guy's got like rapid fire. He's like, reload. Kills Rhaegal whilst they're moving with less ships instantly. But this, like lots of people have said, probably seen the memes, it's like they had the guns got absolutely nerfed to shit. Their reload time went from 3 seconds to 3 minutes. And then Drogon just turned on God mode because the guy can't get shot. He's super fast. He has unlimited fire. Okay, he's a dragon. Maybe mythically they had unlimited fire, but my God, this guy absolutely tears the goddamn ships apart, destroys all of them. And in this part, this is the stupid part, only Euron Greyjoy seems to fire a single bolt. All these ships watch this happen. They know he's going to come. They know Daenerys is coming. They're all pointing up. There's a scene just moments before showing them all looking, pointing with their things ready. And not a single one looses an arrow. Only Euron. And he misses. And then they take so long to reload. And basically she torches the whole fleet. It looked fucking awesome, by the way. It looked incredible. But the disparity between the earlier fights where all the dragons got obliterated and basically couldn't do shit. Now, the Scorpions are hundreds of defense and they can't do shit. They can't do anything at all. It's just like, oh, come on. And then she goes around and she absolutely obliterates all of the Scorpion encampments all along the walls. Just tortures the shit out of them. I mean, absolutely fucks them up. The defenses are gone. Okay, cool. We got the Golden Company, by the way. Golden Company being talked about for a really long time. Multiple seasons. Golden Company are absolutely amazing. Wanted all the Golden Company. Golden Company come out. They get fucked. They got blown to shit. Absolutely torched. Like a kid with a magnifying glass torching ants. They stood no chance. The Drogon came from behind, obliterated them. And then, of course, the Dothraki... The Dothraki. They goddamn come out of nowhere. They were all gone. They were all gone. Now there's hundreds of them. They're charging, ulating like, charging in, slice, dice, obliterate what's remaining. Okay, you got all the Unsullied, of course. They charge in through there. And there's this really cool bit where they meet the Lannister forces. By the way, throughout all of this, Cersei just says nothing. She stands up there and just stares out with a glass of wine. Maybe she has a glass of wine. I might have made that up. Basically, that's all she does for season 8. But yeah, just standing there, doing nothing. And the Lannister forces are waiting. Qyburn comes up, speaks to Cersei, and he's like, yeah, we've lost everything. We've lost the fleet. And she's like, no, Euron killed a dragon and he'll kill another. No, my grace. They're all dead. The fleet is burning. All of the Scorpions on the embankments have been destroyed. There's nothing left. No, they'll kill the dragon. No, you stupid woman, they won't. You're over. Get out of there. Just get out. Get out now whilst you still can. Qyburn, for some bizarre reason, is still trying to help you. Anywho, doesn't matter. So, yeah, we got the Lannister. Oh, yeah, that's why I was going down that rabbit hole. She was like, the Lannisters will fight harder and fairer and longer than anyone else. Sorry, darling. They're not fighting against a dragon. They're not fighting against anyone. So they're all combined in this little street, and they throw down their swords. So Jon, Grey Worm, Davos, I fucking love Davos. They're all sitting there and they have this standoff. And Jaime desperately tried to get into the city before the gates closed because obviously he wants to get there. But he promised Tyrion that he would ring the bell and make sure that the bell's ringing. So people start calling out, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bells to surrender the city. And of course, Jaime makes sure he gets one of the bells ringing and then the rest of the bells start ringing. The bells! They start ringing. And what happens? Something starts ringing inside of Dany because she goes from sitting on a little perch, absolutely fine, destroyed all the military stuff, about to capture the city, and something literally snaps. And she just goes batshit crazy and torches everyone. Women, children, old people, mutants. I don't know if they're mutants. They're probably not, but if they were, she torched them. She literally flew over, and this is what I'm talking about, the dragon destruction. It was incredible. Visually, it's insane. It's so good. But just absolutely bombing past, destroying everything, but torching everyone. And as she starts to do that, Grey Worm thinks, oh, screw this, I'm going to get involved in this action. He's obviously bent out of shape as well. He's lost his Missandei. He's lost her. Chucks his spear, and then they just massacre the Lannisters. The Lannister starts picking up their swords, and they start going into this absolutely brutal pillaging, raping, literally raping. One part, some guy tries to rape a woman. What's with people and fucking rape him whilst fighting? I ain't got enough goddamn time to rape. Just keep fighting. I never understand this in these medieval things, or even normal conflict stuff. Why do people go raping? Why are they raping when they're killing? They need to kill, not rape. Anyway, this guy tries to rape this poor woman, and Jon tries to stop him. And then this knob from the north, who loves his king, who's done all of this, turns around, and instead of going, "Oh, I'm sorry," he tries to attack him and dies. Another stupid moment. Stupid. Jon desperately tries to stop them, but there's nothing he can do now. The blood frenzy is there. Blood's in the water. These sharks are going crazy, and they're killing everything, and they're following the lead by their absolute batshit crazy queen. So instead of her flying off to the castle to get Cersei, which she could have done, you see her kind of, and it was very well done. I really liked it. She looked crazy, like she had just lost everything, and it was amazing to watch. It was really, really interesting to watch, even those few seconds. But it was so much. It was too much brutality. It was so screwed up. And she said she was never going to be her father. And she's gone worse than her father. She's gone worse than Cersei. We could say Cersei was evil, and she was willing to sacrifice the city. But she never really, killed people for the sake of just killing and maiming and murdering. I don't think she would have sacrificed them to save herself. And if they slighted her, but these were innocent people, kids, grandparents, men, women, buildings, city, hospital. Let's say it's a hospital, like the little pet shelter, kittens. They're all getting cooked. It's too much. It was too much to bear. It was too much to watch. Now, while she's doing all that and the raping and the pillaging is going on, you've got another cool bit with the Hound and Arya. So they've gone off. She wants to kill Cersei, and they keep going. They get into the main room, and Drogon is already destroying the Red Keep, and Cersei's on her way down, and things are crumbling. Everything's just being completely obliterated. And the Hound turns to Arya and he says, "You can't come up here. If you come up here, you're going to die." And she tries to go with him, and he snaps her around, and he's like, "No, look at me. Look at me." And he shakes some sense into her, and he's like, you think you want revenge? I've wanted revenge all of my life, and look what it's done to me. If you come in here, you're going to die. And there's this nice moment between the two of them, which is probably the only two characters that have remained completely true to themselves throughout the whole seasons, and their relationship together, which was really good in the last episode, which I didn't mention, unfortunately, but it was the favourite part from the last episode. Their union, that's not right. Their chemistry. And so they have this little moment, and she doesn't go with him. And as he's walking off, she calls him Sandor and just says thank you. And it's really touching, and it's nice, and it's like, okay, thank you, you've saved my life. But then she hightails it out of there, and she gets caught up. As the scene continues, there's two parts that go on. Sandor goes and meets the Hound, which I'll talk about in a second. The Mountain, rather, which I'll talk about in a second. And Arya just tries to escape for her life. They're both fighting for their lives, but in different ways. And they've done it kind of in a good way. I wish that the Clegane brawl, or the Clegane balls, everyone keeps talking about it, their massive showdown fight had been one epic scene. Like when Prince Oberyn fought the Mountain, and it was just a long scene with no breaks. It didn't cut away to anything else. That was the most important focal point. But in this, they decided to keep cutting away. But I guess overall, it was actually a pretty satisfying fight. So they're walking down the stairs, and everything's crumbling, and the Hound steps out, and his brother, who had just sheltered Cersei from being crushed by rocks, steps forward. A couple of soldiers come down. Hound dispatches them pretty quickly. And then Cersei goes like, "You need to protect me. Come and stand next to me." He doesn't fucking care. He's not going to listen to her. So Caliban gets involved. He's like, "You must listen to your grace. Your queen demands." And just mid-sentence, the Mountain grabs him by the throat, smacks his head into the wall. It just goes... literally pops, and throws his little doll-like body at the rocks down by the Hound's feet, where his head just pops again. And it was so good. It was such a good moment. I was like, yeah, baby. And I kind of like Qyburn, but that was an unexpected, typical Game of Thrones ending. Mid-sentence, not quite expecting it to happen. Not like that anyway. And this character did instantly. Oh, it was really good. And Cersei's standing there, and she's like, "It's about time to hit the old dusty trail." She just like, "Don't mind me," scooches past the Mountain. and just walks out. And the Hound, he could have sliced her in two. I wish he had, but he didn't. He just let her go. He's focused on his brother. So they start fighting, and it's really goddamn epic. Swords are smashing and clanking, and dust is flying everywhere. And eventually the Hound knocks off parts of his armor and knocks off his helmet, and he's like, "There you are, brother." And he looks like a zombified Varys. He's so fucking ugly. I think they could have done a lot more with that. It doesn't really suit, but it is what it is. He comes downstairs. They continue fighting. Eventually, and this is where it cuts in between. And like when the Hound falls down, it cuts to Arya being on the floor, and her having to get up and to fight and to run through everything, and she's just evading the destruction of the dragon. She does no fighting. She's literally running for her life, and it keeps cutting between the two, and it goes back to the final bit with the Hound, and he has his brother's hands around his throat, and he's being choked, and he gets his dagger and he starts like stabbing him in the neck. He's like, "Why won't you fucking die?" He's just going out for leather, this guy, and he's doing nothing. He already had a sword all the way through his stomach, may I add. Did absolutely nothing. The guy can't die, so he's doing that, and he's being choked, and he just starts laughing. He's like and it's really good. Then he goes for his the eye trick. The Mountain starts pushing his thumbs into Sandor's eyes. It's just like, ah! And just as he does that, he pulls his dagger out and shafts it right through his eyeball. And he staggers back, dazed, but through his brain, he's still not goddamn dead. So the Hound drops to the floor, blinks a few times, and just as the wall starts to crumble, he jumps through and pushes his brother and himself off the edge, and they both go down into the fiery inferno below. And like their hatred started with fire, it ended with fire. And I thought that was actually really poetic. The scene was really cool, and that was quite a satisfying end. I think I wish it had been like one single big fight, maybe with a few other bits, or maybe to make the Mountain a little bit more freaky, or to suit it a bit more. But overall, it was pretty freaking awesome. I liked that. It was well done, directed well. It just fit, and with everything else going on, I thought it was epic. It was a great end for them. It was a fitting end for their characters, especially the Hound. I think it was really good. But whilst that's going on, as I said, there's two last things I'm going to talk about. This is Arya running through the destruction. This woman got plot armor to shit. Now she can't get burnt or nothing. Literally, she goes through all these things. She's fallen over. It like goes to black a couple of times, like she's crushed by a building, but miraculously she's inside the building and she's saved by something else. She's like knocked down, she misses fire, and she tries to save this family. She tries to save this woman and her daughter. She's like, "If you stay here, you'll die!" So they come with her and immediately get hacked down by Dothraki. She then tries to pick up the woman. She's like, "Come with me!" Then she fucking gets toasted by a dragon and her poor little daughter. And Arya just fucks off. They would have been safer inside the building. She got that wrong. She should have left them and got out herself, because her plot armor doesn't expand to anybody else. It's just her. She can survive literally anything. And she does, because at the very end of this destruction, and just as she's about to flee, she wakes up caked in dirt. Absolutely, like, blood all over her face. Not a singed hair, I may add. And she's looking around, and literally everything is smouldering, just burnt to a cinder. All the corpses next to her, a foot away, are Pompeii'd. And I mean, they look like they've come out of a motherfucking Pompeii exhibit, because they're encased. They're like, not dead, not dying. They look like they've been encased by lava. They've been hundreds of years. They've gone through some kind of geophysical metamorphosis. I can't talk. They were flambéed. They were gone. They were crispy. And nothing happened to her. And I just... why do they even bring her into the city just to give us that? I think, again, it was just a plot designed to show us Daenerys' cruelty and to make us think this is where Arya, she decides, I'm going to kill Daenerys because I've seen the brutality the vile hatred towards just everything and everyone, and the fire and the burning and the smell and the destruction and the innocent lives wasted. That's why she had to see that, witness it, and be in the middle, so it will force her to try and kill her. I think they could have done it in a different way. It was kind of cool, but it was also really goddamn stupid, and it's annoying. It's annoying. Leading us on to the last annoying thing. Jaime was my favourite character for a long part of Game of Thrones. He started off as an absolute bastard, but he went through this incredible journey where he lost his hand, where he escaped, where he showed his honour, because I think it was always kind of in a weird way honourable, and he forged this relationship with Brienne. He obviously had sex with Brienne, then decided, no, this just isn't right. Maybe he thought he could love her, but once he did the deed, he was like, I can't, I've got to go back to my sister, I love my sister. So it sounds so weird saying it as if it's normal. And he decided he was going to go back. So of course it went through. He couldn't get into the city because it was locked. Once he rang the bell, he obviously found a way through a secret passageway down to the beach. Oh God! And in through a cave to try and get up to the Red Keep to see her. Just by chance, as he's walking through the fucking shingle, guess who arrives? Euron bloody Greyjoy. Oh! Why? Why? It was so stupid. Out of all the ships, they're not even in the distance. At that one precise moment in time, with everything that happened, Euron fucking Greyjoy turns up to spoil the goddamn party. It annoyed me so much, I even shouted at the TV. Almost woke up my daughter. I still don't get it. I don't get it. This whole battle, this fight that they had as well was so contrived. Jaime was like, let's go and save Cersei. And he was like, no, I'm not going to save Cersei. I want to kill you. I don't know why I want to kill you, but I'm going to kill you. And I also fucked your sister, by the way. I'm going to kill you. They have this fight. And Euron Greyjoy absolutely shanks him in the side with a big fuck-off dagger. Literally in the ribs. Gets him. Jaime starts coughing up blood. So you're guessing that he's punctured a lung, or maybe his internal organs, or his stomach, or some shit, because he's coughing up blood. And then he gets stabbed again in the torso by this big old goddamn dagger. And then he kills Euron Greyjoy. Great. He kills him, puts a big sword through his stomach, and you're like, yes, thank Christ. But you think Jaime's going to roll over and die there. Miraculously, he gets up and walks away as if he's just had a scratch. Now, I kind of, get it. No, I don't. Now, what am I trying to defend it for? No, I don't get it. It's fucking stupid. If he was going to walk away from that fight, why not cut off his arm? Why not stab him in the leg? Why not cut his face? But don't give him mortal wounds, like 2 massive stabs to the torso, and expect us to expect that he's going to be fine and walk away. It's just stupid. As he staggers off, Euron Greyjoy, on his little rock, turns to the sky, looking at the camera, and says, I'm the man that killed the Kingslayer, Jaime Lannister. Maybe not in exact words, but he's just smiling. And it was kind of funny because that's his character. But at the same time, it's so goddamn ridiculous and cheesy. And he's saying that shit, but no one is going to know that he did it. What's the point? He did everything for status and symbol. He dies on his own a little frickin' beach, probably going to be crushed by the falling debris. And he's dead. It was just so pointless. It was like a way to just kill him off, and he could have just been killed by the dragon. He didn't have to fight Jaime. It was stupid, it was annoying, and it gave no reason because, joke's on Euron. Euron didn't kill Jaime. No. The fucking bricks did. Yeah, they did, because he found Cersei, and they have this nice moment right in the belly of the Red Keep with the dragon skulls, and I'm pretty sure that's where Jaime actually ended up leaving Cersei, earlier on in a couple of the seasons. So they came back and they had this reunion, and Cersei's broken. She's absolutely terrified, and it's the first time you see that, really. And she's like, I don't want to die. And he says, just look at me. It's just us. And they embrace. And I've never ever felt that sad for basically villains, but also incestuous lovers. It was so bizarre that their characters, their acting, and most of the storylines throughout the seasons have brought us to actually care for them. And I did. I felt genuinely sad that Jaime was going to die. Maybe not so much Cersei, but yeah, it was quite a human moment for them both. And they embraced, and then the Red Keep just crumbled around them, and it came towards them. And it's kind of poetic. They came into the world, they went out of the world together, and they're also crushed by the one thing that Cersei desperately wanted, the Red Keep, the Iron Throne. That's all she wanted. She was desperate for it, to rule and to control, and she wouldn't leave it. And that's what killed her. Not Dany, not some little sellsword, not some random person, not a dragon. She was crushed as no one, and almost like her citizens, her little subjects, they were crushed by bricks and falling debris and the dragon and the onslaught, and they're nobody, and she's almost died exactly the same. She didn't get a big exit. She didn't get this huge torturous campaign against her for the next 20 years where she'll lose a toe or a limb, be flayed or some shit. No, none of that. Literally crushed with her brother and buried alive, which is pretty brutal, but kind of fitting. I liked it. I liked that. I thought that was pretty good. A lot of people didn't like it. I've seen a lot of people talking about it and saying, oh, she needed this, oh, she needed that. It wasn't very fitting. I just was annoyed about the Euron bit because he was there to try and kill Jaime. He ended up killing himself. He didn't have to die that way. In my opinion, it was pointless because Jaime died anyway with Cersei. Or did they die? We did see the bricks come towards them, but we didn't see it actually hit them. Maybe it stopped. Oh, shit, son. Maybe they escaped. Could you imagine? I actually really want them to escape. Who's going to sit on the Iron Throne, baby? Some people say it's going to be Jon. It's not going to be Jon. Not going to be Jon. It's not going to be Dany. Unless, of course, Dany just fucking kills everyone and that's just the way it ends. And that would be kind of cool because we're not expecting that. I hope it's not Arya. I hope it is and I hope it's not that kills her. Because I think that will be a little bit, I don't know. I just hope it's not. I think it's going to be Tyrion. Tyrion's going to sit on the throne, or Davos Seaworthy. Yeah, give me Davos. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. This has been another long ramble and a rant, and probably really random and talking about things in different orders, but it doesn't matter. You can tell me what you think down below right now. You could share this video if you think it's worth it. And of course, we're very close to the end of Game of Thrones. Overall, this episode was pretty decent. I think it was like I'm not going to give it a rating. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right. It was good in some areas. It was terrible in others. And I actually quite enjoyed watching it. It was so much better than the last one. And it's leading us on to the final slice of that pie, that juicy pie with all those pieces. So, yes, as I said, tell me what you think down below. Tell me who you think is going to sit on the Iron Throne. Is Dany going to survive? Is Jon going to get his ding-dong out and give her the dirty so she turns nice again? Oh, who knows? I would watch that. She's pretty fine. She was my aunt. What am I saying? Yeah, she probably would. She's pretty tasty, isn't she? Anywho, that's about it. So I'm going to say DRBC 007. That's my name. I'm going to be signing off. I don't know what I'm fucking doing anymore.